You pour your heart into your business. You work incredibly long hours, care deeply about your clients, and deliver high-quality work. But when a new prospect calls, all that effort seems to vanish. Before they even ask about how you can actually help them, their very first question is almost always, "How much do you charge?" It feels incredibly frustrating. But buyers do this for a very simple reason. When someone cannot see a clear difference between options, they naturally default to the cheapest one. That means simply being good at your job is not enough to protect you. If you rely entirely on doing great work, customers will still treat you like everyone else, relentlessly shopping around for a discount. Think of it like walking through a bustling farmer's market. Imagine you have a stall, and you are surrounded by 20 other vendors, and every single one of you is selling the exact same red apples. You might try putting up a big sign that says best quality or great customer service, but if you look around, every other apple stand is displaying that exact same message. This is an economic reality called the commodity trap. When your product looks indistinguishable from the rest, you lose control over what you charge. You end up in a cycle where businesses constantly undercut each other and profit margins completely disappear. As long as you try to win by being a slightly better apple, you are guaranteeing yourself a lifetime of exhausting price wars. To escape the price war, exit the competition entirely. Stop trying to sell a better apple and start selling an orange. The strategy for doing this is all about finding your specific spot in the market, the mental shelf your customers put you on when they think of your name. To claim that spot, you need what's called a unique selling proposition. Think of it like a specific, ironclad promise that sets you apart from every other option. Now, a promise like this is very different from a standard marketing slogan. Slogans tend to be empty, generic phrases that could apply to anyone. A real differentiator gives a customer a solid, practical reason to choose you. The most effective of these promises share a common trait. They identify the single biggest frustration that people hate about your industry, and they fix it. This approach defines your business as a different category of solution, which is much more powerful than simply being a slightly better version of the status quo. We can see this perfectly by looking at FedEx. They built a massive global business by focusing on one specific, undeniable promise. Instead of trying to be the cheapest, they found a massive pain point. People felt intense anxiety and uncertainty when they handed off a critical package, never really knowing if it would actually arrive on time. FedEx addressed that fear head-on with their famous guarantee, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight. That was their core promise, and it offered a complete end to that anxiety. What is especially interesting is what they left out. They never once promised to save the customer money. When you provide absolute certainty instead of just claiming high quality, customers will often ignore your competitors and pay a premium for peace of mind. Think about what happens in the customer's mind when they try to evaluate an apple against an orange. Because they are different things, they aren't compared on price. This shift makes price shopping much harder because direct comparison relies on having identical features to weigh against each other. When those identical features no longer exist, the comparison breaks down. In this state, you have become the only logical choice for your specific target audience. Creating a meaningful difference is the only defense you have against a competitor's lower price tag. You can start building your own unique promise right now using a very simple 3-part framework. Try filling in these blanks. We help target customer achieve positive result without negative thing. By isolating your exact target customer, the outcome they desperately want, and the pain point they avoid, you create an offer that is hard to refuse. Generic competitors simply cannot match that level of clarity. To grow your business without burning out, you have to step away from the bargaining table. Stop trying to win by lowering your prices and start showing the world exactly why you are unique.